Hey guys, welcome to Amy Ulmer Yoga. So we will start in child's pose. You may want blocks and a blanket. And if child's pose is uncomfortable for you, it might be, if it bothers your knees, you can place a blanket in between your knees. Knees can be together or wide. If your forehead doesn't reach the floor, you can place it on a block. So just finding a comfortable child's pose, since we'll be here for a few breaths. Just signaling to your body that it's time to wind down. So releasing any concerns about the day. Releasing any thoughts no longer serving you. Feeling your breath move through the body. Softening the jaw. Now starting to lengthen and deepen your breath. And now focusing on making the exhale longer than the inhale. Couple more breaths. Long, slow, smooth exhale. Now with your next inhale, make your way to the all fours. Bring your hands a little forward of your shoulders, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up and back, down dog. Let your head hang heavy. Spread your fingers wide. And you can wiggle around or not. Just find what feels right for you. Wiggling around in any way that feels good if you're taking that option. Long, slow, smooth inhales and exhales. Making that exhale a little longer. Next inhale, shift forward to plank just for a moment. And then lower your knees. Lower your thighs, your pelvis, belly, chest, and then bring your elbows under your shoulders for Sphinx pose. So you're drawing your heart forward, pressing the feet down, drawing the shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades down the back. Take one more full cycle of breath. And then lower down, slide the hands back, press up and back, down dog, either through all fours or through plank. Take a moment here. Now, option 1 is to lift your right leg up and back, bend your knee, and roll the hip open before stepping that right foot to the outside of the right hand for lizard. Second option is to bring the knees down and step that right foot forward outside the right hand. So back knee can be up or down in lizard. You might scoot your left knee back a little bit if it's down, and you also have the option to pad it up by doubling up your mat or putting a blanket under that knee. So take a couple of breaths here in lizard, keeping the head involved. And if you would like, you can lower your forearms onto blocks or to the mat if you're very flexible. And take 3 more full cycles of breath. Making that exhale just a little longer than the inhale. One more breath. And then press yourself back up if you're on your forearms. Tuck the back toes and step back, down dog. Hands, shoulders distance, feet hip distance, head hangs heavy. Wiggle or don't wiggle. One more full cycle of breath. And then option 1, inhale the left leg up and back, roll the hip open before stepping it to the outside of your left hand for lizard. Option 2 is to just bring your knees down and then step that left foot forward to the outside of the left hand. Maybe scoot your right knee back a little bit, pad it up if you need to. Soften between your shoulder blades, drawing the heart a little forward. Lengthen the exhale. Soften the jaw and the muscles in the face. And then if you would like, lower your forearms either onto blocks or all the way down to the mat. Just finding something you can sustain for 3 more breaths. Good. Then on your next inhale, you can come back up onto the hands if you're lowered down and slowly press it back to down dog, taking your time to get there. Nice. Then bottom of the exhale, start to walk your feet to your hands to a forward fold. At the top of the mat, knees can be bent. Take hold of opposite elbows. Let the head hang heavy. Let your shoulders relax. You can sway a little bit side to side if that feels good. Exhales a little longer than the inhales. Equal weight in the feet. Good. Then release the arms and super slowly ragdoll your way up to stand. As you get there, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Now you'll want a block handy as you step out wide with your left foot or whichever foot, really. We're just coming into a wide angle fold, placing your head on the block, your forehead on the block. So I like my block on the tallest level. Toes are in a little bit, slightly pigeon-toed. Bring the forehead to the block. Feel free to stack multiple blocks, just finding the height that's right for you. And we'll take 5 full cycles of breath here. Again, just focusing on making that exhale a little longer. Softening the sense organs. Nice. With your next inhale, press yourself up halfway, lengthen the spine, shine your sitting bones up towards the ceiling, and then just come down to the mat, to a seated position. Bringing your legs out in front, keeping your block handy, and you may want a blanket to sit up on for some forward folds, which helps tilt your pelvis forward and keep good alignment. So I like to fold mine like this, just neatly a couple times. Sit up on the edge if you've got one. Bring your left sole of the foot inside your right thigh. Sit up nice and tall. And if you're rounded here, you can bend your knee, kind of stick your butt out, and you can stay upright. If you've got a little more space to work with, place your forehead on the block. Feel free to stack whatever block configuration you need. Just let the arms rest in a comfortable position where the shoulders are relaxed, and we'll take about 5 breaths here, focusing on making the exhale a little longer than the inhale. With your next inhale, gently come back up. And we'll extend the left leg out. Bring the right sole of the foot inside the left thigh. And come forward any amount. So you may be staying upright, or you may be bringing your forehead to a block or blocks. And let go of any judgment. I started running again recently, so I feel super tight. So just releasing any thoughts like, oh, I'm so tight, or I should be going deeper. Softening your shoulders and your face. And one more full cycle of breath. And then as you inhale, gently come back up. And we'll extend both legs out. Sitting up nice and tall on the edge of a blanket if you've got one. So your pelvis is tilted forward and you're sticking your butt out. And I'm going to need 2 blocks for this one. As you fold forward, bring your forehead to the block or blocks, or you might just stay upright. You might even bend your knees if you need to. So focusing on long exhales, 5 breaths. With your next inhale, gently come back up and make your way to a wall. If you've got a little bit of wall space, you'll bring your butt all the way up against the wall before you swing your legs up there for legs up the wall. And if you've got a blanket and it would feel good to place it under your hips, you can do that. Kind of under your sacrum or your hips, find the spot that feels right and comfortable. And then let your arms flop open. Focus on making that exhale a little longer than the inhale. everything heavy. If your mind starts to wander, so without judgment, gently bring your attention back to your breath. See if you can get a little heavier. Releasing any tension. With your next inhale, let it be a little deeper. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. And then bend your knees and just roll off to one side. Press yourself up to an easy seat. And sit up nice and tall. You can sit on the edge of your blanket if you've got one. We'll just take a twist before we end. So inhale, lengthen up through the crown of the head, and as you exhale, twist right, left hand outside right knee, right fingertips behind. You can gaze over your right shoulder. Gently come back through center. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, right hand outside left knee, left fingertips behind. Gaze over the left shoulder. Use your inhale to lengthen up through the crown. Exhale to twist a little deeper if it's available. And then come back to center. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you get a good night's sleep tonight. Namaste.